Arabia before Islam, the age before the light. Before the first revelation descended upon Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, in the year 610 CE, the Arabian Peninsula lived through a period of deep darkness, a time history would later call Jahiliyyah, the age of ignorance. This was not ignorance of intelligence, but ignorance of guidance.
With the exception of Yemen, Arabia had no central government, no unified law, no system to protect the weak. Authority rested solely in the hands of tribal chiefs. Loyalty to one's tribe was absolute, right or wrong. A person's only protection came from his clan. If a tribesman committed a crime, it was the tribe's duty to defend him, even if he was guilty. Failure to do so meant humiliation. Justice was not measured in courts, but in revenge. If one man was killed, his family would pursue vengeance relentlessly. If they could not reach the killer, they attacked his relatives instead. These cycles of bloodshed often escalated until entire tribes were locked in endless war. And disturbingly, they took pride in it. War was entertainment, a stage to display bravery, archery, swordsmanship, and tribal honor.
Arab society was divided into two groups: nomads, who formed the majority, and settlers, who lived in towns and cities. The nomads lacked political and social development, yet they were feared. Many survived through raids and highway robbery. Some would even cover wells in the desert, waiting for travelers to die of thirst so their belongings could be taken without resistance. Cities offered little relief. In Mecca, the Quraysh tribe dominated. In Yathrib, later Medina, Arab tribes lived alongside Jewish clans. Economic conditions. Mecca and Yathrib were the most important cities in the Arabian Peninsula. The people of Mecca were primarily merchants, traders, and moneylenders. Their caravans traveled north to Syria in summer, south to Yemen in winter, east to Bahrain, northeast to Iraq. Caravan trade was the backbone of Mecca's economy. Almost every household had investments tied to it. Caravans carried leather, raisins, silver, and returned with perfumes, oils, manufactured goods, gold, and spices. But trade required capital, and so usury became widespread. Moneylenders charged 100% interest, sometimes 200%, even 400%. Debt enslaved people. Freedom was stripped quietly, legally, mercilessly. Slavery was common. Men and women were bought and sold like livestock, forming the lowest class in society.
Pre-Islamic Arabia was deeply patriarchal. Women had no social status. They were inherited, traded, and objectified. A man could marry without limit. When he died, his sons inherited his wives, except their own mother. One of the most brutal practices was the burial of infant girls alive. Daughters were seen as disgrace. Fathers took pride in their cruelty. Allah describes this in the Quran. When one of them is given news of a baby girl, his face darkens as he suppresses his rage. Should he keep her in humiliation or bury her in the ground? Evil indeed is their judgment. Drunkenness and gambling were widespread. Sexual relationships were chaotic. Prostitution was common. 4 types of marriages existed. Only one resembled what we know today. Morality had collapsed. Religion before Islam. Arabia was religiously fragmented. Polytheists, the majority. The Kaaba, built by Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam for the worship of one God, was surrounded by 360 idols. Zoroastrians, influenced by Persian dualism.
believing in gods of light and darkness locked in eternal conflict. Jews settled mainly around Yathrib after being expelled from Palestine and Syria. Christians present in the Levant and Yemen. Najran became a major Christian center. Monotheists, Hunafa, a small group, they rejected idol worship and followed the pure faith of Ibrahim.
The turning point. Arab society was trapped, morally, spiritually, socially. The human soul was suffocating, waiting for liberation. And then, in 610 CE, in the city of Mecca, Muhammad ibn Abdullah received revelation. A single message shattered centuries of darkness. Islam emerged, uniting tribes, ending oppression, elevating women, freeing slaves, and restoring dignity to humanity. Islam did not merely reform Arabia, it transformed the world. Muhammad became the greatest emancipator, liberating mankind from slavery to creation and calling them to submission to the Creator alone. From despair to divine light.